What's up? Five Lace Garage. Hey, but check it out. We got a new project coming in. You probably saw it on a little bit of a short. But yes, we have our, I'm going to say at least 40-year-old go-kart here. This was actually really awesome. I got it when I was 16 years old in a basement or crawl space of a buddy of mine that sold it to me for, I don't even know how much, maybe 50 bucks or something. It was something ridiculous. Anyway, the engine was torn apart. The frame was all in pieces, but I put it all back together, and this was the first engine I've ever rebuilt. And we're getting ready to do it again because it's been sitting up in the upstairs for a really long time. But I got a guest today. Not really a guest. He's part of the owners, I guess. But yeah, it's not Ray, but it's Corbin this time. And yes, he's eating again because that's all teenagers do. All right, but take a look. All right, so this is our little bitty. About 20 years ago, I went ahead and extended it because, of course, I am a lot taller than I was when I was 16 years old. But I needed to store it, so as you can see, it is in a couple of pieces. Now we extended it out and I put it way too far. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut those down, weld it back together. This is gonna go away for right now. Later on we're gonna rebuild it. As you can tell, it's been sitting up there for quite a while. No air cleaner. That broke off. Doesn't have a governor on it. This actually held the air cleaner on. Yeah, this was my throttle linkage that just hit directly to this. No governor. You don't need one. No spark plug, no nothing. But yeah, we're gonna rip that guy out. We're gonna do some upgrades to this thing because it is the 21st century. Maybe some disc brakes, different sprocket. We got some tubes on order. We got some other things on order. But since we're not going to rebuild this, yeah, they had a sale. Couldn't help it. So I went ahead and picked up one of those. That was their Christmas gift. But anyway, we're going to make a list. We're going to figure out what we need to order. We're going to figure out what we need to do. And then that guy is going to get some dirty hands. So he can, 40-some years later, he can have the same conversation with his kids and be like, hey, your grandpa built this. And then I built it. And then now they're going to build it. So this is going to be multiple generations of a go-kart. Still works. Just needs to, get new rubbers. Anyway, we're going to finish the list. And then we're going to get to some action.
Stop saying rubbers.
All right, I think we got a game plan. Well, at least we started one. Yeah, this is when you get a teenager to write your stuff down. You can't read that. That's garbage.
It's better than yours.
Maybe, but I didn't write it, so I can't complain about it. Anyway, first order of business, we're going to take that engine off. We're going to lighten up the whole thing. We're going to take it outside. We're going to pressure wash the whole thing, or at least put some water on it to get some of the crud after all these years off of this thing. But the engine is a little bit heavy, so we're just going to go rip that thing right off. Well, at least whenever he actually pulls off the bolts. Let's go!
Well, you're talking, so...
All right, so it's somewhat clean. Not 100% clean, but it's close enough. So what we got to do is actually shrink it. Now, before we actually got it on the table, I had Corbin sit in it, and we kind of adjusted. And we're thinking we're only going to be stretching it 4 inches. Now, we're going to be cutting it with a good old-fashioned recip saw. Anyway, chop, chop, weld, weld. All right, Corbin did a pretty decent job on actually grinding all this stuff down. We're gonna put a bevel on it because I'm not really that overly concerned about putting the rebar in there this time. We're just going to butt weld it on all four. It should be fine. We're not heifers. Well, I'm working on it, but I'm not a heifer right now, and I do plan on driving this thing. So a couple little safety things. Always weld this in a well-ventilated area. Why? Because these pipes are galvanized. Galvanized make you talk to road signs. Worse than tequila. So definitely have a well-ventilated area. So what are we going to weld it with? Well, if you caught some of the other videos, you have noticed my welding cart. I love this thing. Alright, your gun's too far away. The puddle actually looks good because we got enough gas, but try to get a little bit closer to the material because you want to make sure that the gas that's coming out of the nozzle can cover the entire area that you're welding.
I also doesn't try smoking a whole bunch.
Yeah, just don't breathe in. Oh, some blobs. Jeez. It's not glue, man.
It's
not glue.
better than the weld right there. Right there.
I didn't do those well.
Who did?
I don't know. Previous owner.
I thought you built this
I
thing.
don't buy new stuff.
I thought you built this thing. Camera.
Yeah.
Are you heading?
Let's go.
I didn't turn it on.
Is it turned on? Is it plugged in?
Yeah, it's on now.
Alright, we got all the welding stuff done. Now it's time to put the engine on. Actually, he just wants to put it on there so we can
Fucking
feel accomplished that and see if it actually fits.
I want exhaust facing away from you. And that being in our space. Ooh, maybe? So far.
Now, unfortunately, we will not be able to drive it around because my parts aren't quite here yet. They'll be here in the next day or so. But that looks all right. Alright, so we put the engine on there, we fill it with oil, and we put a little bit of gas in there. It's going to smoke a little bit because I don't have any regular gas. But Corbin here really wants to hear it run. So make sure you read the instructions and find out all the things that you need to do to it before you actually start it. As in, hey, put oil in it. Because there wasn't enough in there.
Put gas in it.
Put gas in it, because obviously they don't put that in there.
You yank this thing off the table.
And we just got to fill the bowls with the car.
Ow. Yay.
All right, so it does run. Anyway, all right, we'll check you guys up tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get a little bit closer. Hopefully some parts will be in at about 4 in the morning to wake the dogs up.
Hey Dad,
Cool.
you need a nap.
I do need a nap. I always need a nap. Night. Guess what? Whole new day, whole new week. Almost a month, right? It's been a while since we actually started this thing, but we're back at it and we're gonna actually had to order a lot of parts. This thing is just like what we did with the Wagoneer. If you get a bigger engine, you need bigger parts all the way down the line. So Corbin already went in and we put some tubes and all the tires, so now they're rock hard. Great, all 4 tires ready to go. So we got a new engine. The old engine, that piece of crap, that's about a 5 horse. This is a 6.5 horse, which means we needed a bigger clutch. So we got ourselves in a bigger clutch. But get on there. Anyway, still got to tie it down. But yeah, the sprocket completely different because this has more beef. That means we needed a new chain. So the chain's right there. This is the old one. This looks like a bicycle chain. So yeah, so we swapped that out. But hey, there's more. That means the sprocket wasn't going to work. So we picked up a new sprocket. And then we're like, hey, now we got all this power, we got all this stuff, but then we have a brake, which was... Corbin ate the brake. Oh, here it is. All right. So this was the brake. So it's just a little band that actually went around, and the harder you push on the pedal, the more came out of the cable, and it maybe slowed you down a little bit. But we need to upgrade that. So now we have a disc brake. So yeah, snowball all around. And the big question is, am I going to do it? No, I'm not. I got Corbin to do it. That's what he's here for. That's what he's here to learn, as long as he wears protection. All right, so Corbin hasn't quite graduated to the big boy hammer, so we got to give him the next best thing.
It's so cute.
Just give it a whack. Don't hit the engine. Seriously, you're gonna hit it with a ball pop.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
You know, when we're in the... Really? So when we're in Scout, I always tell the boys that I'm here for health and safety. Health-wise, okay, there's a little fuming in here, but we don't have any windows open because it is like 20-some degrees outside and getting ready to snow. Second thing, don't wear jammy bottoms while you're using the grinder or the welder.
Better than shorts.
They kind of just go up in flames. But hey, we're done with that, so now let's get some brakes on there. All right, so yeah, we have this guy. So there is a keyway right there, so we got to make sure that's in there once we put it in there permanently. So we can have that there. Yeah. All right, so we got to put the inner hub onto the actual sprocket as soon as Corbin finds what he did with it. You know what's great about having somebody with you? Especially when it's your son. Guess who gets blamed for everything?
Yeah, because you're more
It's wonderful. All right, things are looking great and looking not so great. All right, first of all, we have the brake disc way down in here, just like the other one, but this is a disc, not a band. But the best thing is that we actually have the sprocket, and if you look, if I can get it over, anyway, these two line up. Awesome. Problem. Where's my problem?
Everywhere.
All right, so this is our mechanism to apply the brake. There's the mechanism. That no worky. So what we're gonna do is actually move this. What I knew I had to do initially, but I didn't want to believe it. We either move it here, or we're gonna move it out to here. Might move it out to here. I don't know. Whew, man, this thing is beginning to be just as much trouble as a real car. Anyway, still got things to do. One thing we're definitely going to need to do, in order to put this brake disc in there, we're going to have to cut a groove into the shaft so we can put the key in. It's just not that big of a deal. You just got a grinder. But let's take it all apart. All right, we've been fiddling for a little bit, but I think we got it. Actually, Corbin came up with this idea of how we can actually get it on this side. So good job, buddy. So anyway, we have our hub on. We got our tire on. Come a little closer and let's take a look at this. So here's the brake disc. There's your brake caliper. Now this right here, once you pull this back, locks it straight. So all we have to do is take this bracket, put that on there, weld a little piece out to here, bolt it on, and then put a couple gussets, and boom, we are golden. And then we can take the brake line through the same bracket. Oh, pulled it up. Anyway, attach this so it actually pull the lever back. It's manual brakes. It's a go-kart. It doesn't need hydraulics, even though they sell hydraulics. Not sure. Yeah, anyway, we got manual ones, so that's what we're going to use. So the next step, what we need to do is take all the hub stuff off, and then we're going to have to cut a groove so we can put our little key in there. And of course, Corbin lost the parts again. Anyway, we got to put this little guy in the shaft to hold the brake nice and steady. And then we put some little Allen screws in there to hold it straight, hold it tight, and then we should be ready to go. So we're this close. But we got to do some more welding and fabricate. But let's tear this apart, break out the welder. Man, this is going to be awesome. Alright, cut a groove with the cutoff wheel, and it's kind of crude, but hey, this is kind of an expendable axle, because once we start beating on this thing, I'm pretty sure we're going to be replacing it. But we can get all the fabrication done on this piece of crap before we actually get to a real one. But as you can tell, we have free reign. Just hold that one. Of everything working the way it's supposed to, and that is awesome. So what we have to do now is basically take the tire back off, because we don't want to weld next to a tire because it's going to probably burn it. Take the excuse me, I need to hammer in the cotter pin, or not the cotter pin, but the key. All right, so once we actually hammer that in there, we'll put our keys in there. This thing will be locked in place. It should be nice and parallel with it, or perpendicular rather. Then we're going to take our bracket and stick it on there, and then just tack weld a few brackets onto the actual cart itself, and then we'll be that much closer. But yeah. All right, then we got a plan. I hope. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Anyway, all right. So this black piece right here is actually the bracket that goes on the back of the caliper here, and it just slides right in, just like so. And yes, I had to grind it because, come on, man, this is ridiculous. You have to modify everything to get anything to work nowadays with the aftermarket. It's just horrible. So I have the sprocket, or the brake disc, ready to go. It's locked into place. It's not going to go anywhere. And yes, that is a tie wrap, because you must have a tie wrap on every project. Now I went ahead and screwed down my tensioner bolt all the way down so it doesn't move and everything is lined up. So basically, once we weld it, it is done. It's not going to go anywhere. I did. Get this off. Anyway, so our bracket here is actually from an old network rack. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I love using old network racks. I use it for everything. I made my front bumper on my Tacoma with an old network rack. See how he did. We're going for the close-up in HD, baby. Actually, not bad.
Just don't look underneath it.
Not bad at all. All right, so we got a little bit there. We can now unbolt everything so we can get all the way around this thing, because we also got to get the bottom as well, which we'll probably just flip the whole thing over. But yeah, not bad. But you know, he says he's a welding master. All right, I think we're done with fabrication, I think. Maybe. We'll find out. Anyway, so I had Corbin go ahead and weld the entire bracket on here. And this thing's not going to go anywhere. He welded here, 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 underneath. We flipped it over, all that type of stuff. Now, as far as the brake itself goes, this is the spring off of the return for the old mower, the old engine anyway. We're going to be replacing that later. Right now, it's basically get it done. Don't worry about getting it right. So don't get it right, get it done. I believe that's what Freiberger always tells us. All right. So what else we got to do here? Hit the gas pedal. Make sure this guy's working. All right. That's working fantastic. We got our brake working fantastic. So what we need to do now is actually put the hubs on, Make sure that they're keyed. And then try to do some burnouts. Probably tomorrow because it's really late tonight. Anyway, let's get some hubs on, get some tires, and hopefully Corbin knows how to drive this thing. So it works, mostly. Tomorrow when it gets daytime and if the weather's nice-ish, we're gonna take it out. Even if it's not nice, I'm still gonna send Corbin out because he's the one who welded this thing together. So if it's gonna break, I want his butt to be in it. But anyway, see you guys tomorrow when we're hauling butt down the road with 6.5 horse.
If you're gonna drive it, we might have to fix that sheet metal. It's just oh no, I got welded back. It's broken.
Did you just call me fat?
I don't trust myself on that, let alone an adult. So.
Don't call me fat. All right, we're ready for the maiden voyage. It is daytime. And all that ice and stuff we had last night, we had a little bit of ice, but maybe like a 1/2 inch accumulation. We're supposed to have snow. Didn't get it. Up north got it, we didn't get it. We got a bunch of ice and sleet and stuff like that. But we have enough to actually cruise this thing around. As soon as Corbin gets his butt in gear. Don't run into anything, check the cars.
Oh, it's not quite quarter, it's like yesterday. I actually know that. That sound. Boy. That's very reassuring.
Oh, his legs are gonna be so cold when the ice gets up there. All right, this thing is like 40 some years old. Yes, the engine is new. It's a Harbor Freight special. It's not gonna last as long, but hey, it's running. Check out for future episodes of 5 Lakes Garage when we actually take that old engine and rebuild it and maybe rejoin it with that cart. But I guess the moral of the story here is just get it running. Yes, there's a lot of things that we need to do to it. Yes, there's a lot of refinement that we need to do, and we're gonna get to that. But for right now, he's gonna sit there and play with it, figure out what's wrong with it, make sure all the screws are tight, make sure things don't fall off, I hope. Well, we'll find out, but it does make a lot of noise, so we can always tell where he's at. But here he comes. Oh, and his legs are already red. All right, check out future episodes of 5 Lakes Garage when we actually refine this thing, add stuff to it, get it right. Maybe put some safety on it, maybe a little protection. Anyway, take it easy, have fun, get out there and rebuild stuff, get it back on the road, and yeah, have fun with it. See you next time. Later.